set it off. Go to Vegas, bet it all. Put it on the Bucs win, whoever they gon' play gon' fall. Don't say I ain't told y'all. Loose cannons gon' fold y'all. Yeah, the Heat be 9-3, but it gets real cold in the fall. That's when the season start. Bucks come in 40 hard. Win after win, ripping the division apart. Panthers, they pussycats. Falcons got bird flu. Take the Ravens and Dolphins and open up a zoo. Cause one thing's for sure, better than the Bucks, they show lane. No way. And every day in Tampa Bay, we say fuck the Saints. We in Tampa Bay, baby. 813 going crazy. Tampa, boy. This Bucks podcast be the greatest. Loose cannons blasting on them haters. And we in Tampa Bay, baby. Tell them where you from. 813 going crazy. Yeah. This Bucks podcast be the greatest.
Now in motion. Mike Evans drifts over to the left slot. Baker Mayfield shotgun. They know what we're going to do. Baker Mayfield looks, throws the ball to caught ball. Evans, he's got it to the 40-yard line. 1,000 plus Mike Evans, 11 seasons in a row. How about them Buccaneers at number 13?
What a tremendous job.
What is up, Bucs Nation? It is Monday, January 6, 2025, and you're watching the Loose Cannons podcast, and you just listened to Mike Evans getting the extra push for that 1,000 yards to complete the 11th straight season, tying Jerry Rice for the most consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons in NFL history. But Mike Evans is the only receiver to only have 1,000-yard receiving seasons his entire career. I'm your boy Sammer, hanging out with the intern Stank Bastard, and in the closet, as always, intern Izzy. Intern Izzy, say hello to the people of Bucs Nation.
Where the fuck are your shades, Sammer?
Oh shit! Hold on. Yeah, where
I
are shades
took them
at?
off. I took them off to be respectful to the Mike Evans. But yes, it is Victory Monday, and therefore the victory shades are on. Izzy probably has his on. I'm not going to put him on the screen today, but we're also joined by the king, Pirate King himself, Baker Mayfield, who's got on his victory shades at the bottom of the screen there with Ducky, the Bucky, Ducky, whatever the fuck we end up naming him. Boys, we are NFC South champions for the 4th year in a row. That ties the Saints in terms of consecutive championships in our division. The Bucs have dominated the last 4 years, I would say, in terms of the South. And the NFC South runs through Tampa Bay, Stank. We did it again. We did what we had to do. It wasn't pretty, but we're NFC South champs, and I want to kind of go around the room and ask you guys how you feel about this. How do you feel, Stank, the Monday after the season is, regular season's over, and we are NFC South champs yet again?
Well, I don't know. I feel they put me through something yesterday. Emotionally, one of the most emotional games I've ever been to. And then the way it ended, I cried. I cried like a fucking girl on prom night. Okay? Or guy. So I cried like it was my prom night. And I just got the biggest reward ever. And that was Mike Evans getting a chance in just such fucking incredible fashion. I swear Disney, the executives down there, they couldn't have drawn it up any better, right? You have the evil empire in town. You got the fucking stupid fucking Saints, right? Everybody's like, oh, they're just going to lay down and let you guys play. And they came to play. And we didn't, right? And everybody had that pit in their stomach. And it was just a dreadful first half. I ran away from my seats. We'll tell the story a little bit later. I left my seats. I left my seats with my daughter, and we fucking disappeared. Just a shameful first half. And then to put me through that, I mean, everybody else, I don't really give up. They put me through that. And there was just such a resounding turnaround in the second half and all the fucking incredible plays. Oh man, what a game, dude. What a game. What a game. What a game. Hey, I want to light up that Falcons pack. Blue.
Listen, it was awesome. All right. Like, first of all, I didn't have a doubt. Okay, ever. The entire season, I knew how it was going to play out. I actually thought we'd win every single game to the end of the season. It didn't happen that way. We lost that Cowboys game that I still think we could have won. But yeah, I mean, NFC South champs. It's been ours to lose the entire time. The team understands what was at hand. I knew that they were going to figure it out. They really shot themselves in the foot, but like you said, Stank, it was great. My son was there. I got to experience NFC South crownings 2 years in a row with my kid. All right, different kid each time. It was great. All right, then the Mike Evans getting the 1,000 yards on top of it all was just the perfect cherry on top of the cherry on top of the cake. Because the original cherry on the cake was that we got to beat the Saints not once but twice. We got to do it at home. We got to do it in a stamp your way into the playoffs, stamp the division back in your building banner wise on them. And that was what made it so great. Dunking on the Saints just felt great yesterday. It was a double dunk. It was an alley-oop with style. It was a 5-star dunk, okay, from an NBA standpoint. Izzy, how did it feel, man? How did it feel to watch your team win the South yet again?
Fucking elated. Like Stank said, first half was horrendous. I was a little nervous, I ain't gonna lie. They came back in the second half and just they turned it up. Baker being a fucking dog.
Duck,
turning
what
it
do you
up.
think? Duck, what do you think?
Oh, Ducky.
Yeah,
Good to see you, by the way, Ducky. I'm glad you were in the building again.
Ducky made it. He made it
You
through.
made it. I demanded it, and the Bucs obviously heard my demands, and they brought the exact duck back. By the way, that's the exact duck.
the Buck Duck.
Hey, he was the guest of honor with Jason Light.
Yeah,
well, he
button.
was guest of honor in general, just so you know.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
But
Ryan Jensen brought him in. Jason Light got to hold him.
it was
It
awesome.
was the duck. It was the good luck duck all over again. I loved it.
It was a good day. Stank.
Yeah.
Listen, we end up winning the last 6 of our 7 games, okay, after the bye week. And we win the 4th straight NFC South, crown, like I said earlier.
Yep.
How was it, man, to see, not how was it, but what does it mean to see the team kind of pull themselves together after that bye week, after that ridiculous stretch of games, and kind of in the middle of the season, a little bit of a losing streak there, but to get shit done when it mattered? You were one of the people that said, there's no way we're getting into the playoffs. There's no way it's going to happen. You were doubting it. Okay.
I did.
We turned it around. Not only did we get in the playoffs, we won the South. We made sure we were in the playoffs. Took a little bit of help from Washington to pull it off. But at the end of the day, we did win 6 out of the last 7. We played the way we're supposed to play. The opponents are the opponents. Nothing we could do about that. I still think we played really well, and beat the teams we're supposed to beat. Should have beaten the Cowboys on top of that. So just speak to how, the team found their groove again when they're supposed to, and here we are, NFC South champs, man.
Yeah, when we were 4-6, to say that my hope was circling the drain would be an understatement. I just didn't see us winning out, and I felt like we needed to win out to win the division, and we nearly did win out. And thankfully, falconed, right? They're out there raking leaves and making plans to go to some craft shows and shit next weekend, while we're making plans to have a primetime game at 8 p.m. In old Raymond James Stadium with the red lights. And it's going to be exciting, man. Kudos to this team. One of my favorite teams ever, by the way. The way this season unfolded, seeing Baker Mayfield continue to ascend and carry this team. He carried this team yesterday. Playing call wasn't great. I know we're going to get into to the game itself a little bit, but that guy put this team on his back and his feet and carried this team to victory, along with the young Bucks, Bucky and Jalen McMillan, just coming up huge when we needed it most. Todd Bowles showing some balls there at the end, and and just putting the season on the line and saying, "Fuck it, we need to win this game." And man, it was just what we needed at the end of the year. We needed that performance. Would have liked it to be smooth sailing. Would have liked to have been a repeat of last week, but it's the Saints. That's why I was nervous, because man, that fucking team, they're evil. They're evil, and they need to be banished from this universe.
I will say this.
Real
ahead,
quick, B Loggins, $2 donation. Thank you for that. LDBC's Most Wanted, $1.99 super chat. If we get blown out Sunday, is Bowles gone?
We'll answer that question at the end of the show.
Okay.
I will say on this game, it didn't look good. It didn't. I didn't think we were going to lose the game, regardless of how it was playing out, because a lot of it was self-inflicted, penalties. We were getting our ass whooped on defense on first down, which made it very simple for the other team. Any team that's going to get you in second and third and short every single drive, they're going to continue to move the ball. It's too easy, especially if you got all these injuries. You got to get teams in second and long and ultimately third and long. And we weren't able to do that in the first half. That was the difference between the first half and the second half, Stank. Defense was able to get them to lose on first down, and that gave us the opportunity on third down to get off the field, which we finally were able to do in the third and fourth quarter. And that's kind of what turned some things around. But Liam, in my opinion, didn't call a very good game. It lacked creativity. It seemed stagnant at times. Some of that is a penalty. Some of that is execution. The calls were a little weird, going away from the run game when you know that they're not a very good run-stopping team. But again, some of that, the Saints did come out prepared. They knew what we were going to do. And so there was a moment in that game where Baker kind of said, get on my fucking back, okay? And I'm going to make this happen. And it was that play, Stank, where he ran down the sidelines, okay? He slid kind of late. I'll give him that, okay? I'll give the defenders that. They kind of hit him. They didn't get a 15-yard penalty, but he stood up. He did the tie loose, step over the body of the defender, talked a little shit, and walked away. And when everybody wanted to fight, they all came in. His offensive linemen, his hogs came in to fucking defend him like they're supposed to. He walked away like Joker walking away from an explosion, okay, with the nurse's outfit on. And you knew right then and there, he did that on purpose. He knew exactly what he was doing. It's great, man. It's been the whole season we talked about it, Stink. He's been exactly what we've needed in so many moments, not just as a season, but in little micro moments. And that was one of those moments yesterday where the team was still sleepwalking in the third quarter as an offense, and something clicked right then and there. We scored on that drive, but he woke everyone up. He said, hey, we're in a fucking NFL football game that matters, boys. And he made them kind of get their feet dirty and get their hands dirty and do it. The fight that he started, he basically lit a fire and walked away. And then, dude, it was a completely different ball game after that. The physicality stepped up on both sides. We started to elevate and show that we're the talented team. We're the better team. And it was just that moment right there, Stank, was awesome. Not only to see it, but to see how this team really does live and die by Baker's attitude and his mentality. It's Baker Mayfield's team. And that moment was a complete definition of the entire season in just that 6 seconds right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of like every Rocky movie, right? We're just getting our ass pounded, right? Just getting punched in the face. No defense at all, right? Just taking it right in the mouth, taking it on the chin, right? Just all over, right? Without any resistance, right? But all of a sudden, you hear that music kind of just like, drumming in the background, right? And Baker had enough of it, right? He got to sit on the sidelines for the majority of the first half, and he wasn't fucking having it, dude. And he did. He pulled the pin. He threw the grenade. He walked away. He did. He started the process. The energy completely changed in the stadium, on the sidelines, on the field. Then it was just an all-out brawl at that point, and we fought our way fucking back. And as dreadful as that defensive performance was in the first half, including letting them go down and just laying down for another 2-minute field goal, which is just what this team just decides to give up 3 points.
Yeah.
Despite all that, the defense came out swinging in the second half. They made the stops against one of the worst groups of NFL players that you'll ever face on a football field before. Still don't know a single one of their players.
Rattler's the only player I can name on the entire
Rattler's the only one, right? I don't know who any of those receivers were.
None.
I think Marquez Valdez, I thought he retired 6 years ago in Green Bay. Whatever. That group, the worst we're ever going to see. So to allow them to potentially end our season, Baker wasn't having it. And he pushed the buttons.
Baker's like that high maintenance girlfriend you have at the club or at the bar. You're with your boys, and she starts some shit with the dude, right? That's already kind of had too many drinks, and she walks away, and then you got to jump in. You got to fight for her. Your boys are going to jump in. They're going to fight, and so Baker walks away. Tristan Wirfs makes a beeline right for fucking Cam Jordan. Okay, I'm pretty sure Mock hit somebody in the face with his fucking.
Yeah, Mock swung off on somebody.
Yeah, ham-sized fucking fist. Okay, and Baker just walked away. He knew exactly what was going on. He knew exactly what he did. It was awesome. And to your point, Stank, about that field goal, that was a little bit of the criticism I had for Liam in that first half. Was like, listen, your defense is struggling. They're gassed. Yeah. Why aren't you running the ball on second down and make sure you milk that clock and just get them as little time as possible because you know they're going to try to go down the field and get a field goal like every team has done against us. And I think Liam in that moment overthought trying to score a touchdown. We ended up with a field goal. Overthought, and I think they should have just ran that ball there, not to waste clock necessarily, but just run the ball because they were running the ball okay on that drive. It was working, but it would have been a benefit of actually running the clock down as well and taking a timeout off of their hands, and we still would have had third down. I get it, but again, 6 points in the first half by this offense against that team, inexcusable, even if you only got the ball 3 times. I get it, but when your defense is getting fucked, you're still expecting at least this side of the ball is going to do their job, and they did not execute. Penalties played a part. Predictability played a part. Not blocking and executing properly played a part. We were getting tackled in the backfield. Plays weren't being made. Sterling Shepard dropped another pass that mattered on the first drive of the game. All these little moments. Obviously, we overcame it all, but in the first half, it was fucking ugly, but it was everything from the coaches down. It wasn't just coaching. It wasn't just that. It was all of those things, and whatever they said at halftime to both sides of the ball, they woke up, and then Baker still had to do what he did, was click that fucking switch, and boom, here we are. We're fucking rolling.
Yeah, and we still almost fumbled it, right? The fucking penalties in the second half, we still couldn't get out of our own way. Is this a smart football team, you think? Are the Tampa? I know we've got fight, okay? We've got all the adjectives. We've got moxie. We've got courage. You don't want to meet us in a phone.
I don't
booth.
think.
You
I
don't
don't
want to meet
think.
us in his closet. You don't want to meet us anywhere tight.
I don't think they're situationally.
Wait, did you say my closet?
Yeah, no, we don't want to meet you in that closet.
I don't think they're situationally smart football teams, Stink, especially on defense. I don't think they understand the situations within the game very, very well. And some of that could be, attributed to the fact that the guys that are playing in the secondary probably shouldn't be playing in the NFL anyway, most of them. But even on the offensive side, it feels like there's moments where they're just not there. Sterling Shepard lined it off offsides again yesterday. We've seen that penalty 4 or 5 times in one season alone from the offense. From a wide receiver, we've seen it 4 times this year. That's fucking ridiculous. Trey Palmer, Sterling Shepard a couple of times, and I believe Jalen McMillan's gotten it as well. Lining up offsides as a wide receiver is inexcusable. You literally look to the referee next to you and you point to him and he tells you if you're good or not. That's literally what he does. How you line up offsides is beyond me. To get it called in the last game of the season in Week 18 as a veteran wide receiver, by the way, who's on this team only because he knows Baker Mayfield. I'm over the Sterling Shepard experiment. I know why he's here. I get why he's playing. I get it all. But damn, dude, you do some shit like that and you play football that undisciplined in the playoffs, it is not a winning recipe. We overcame because the Saints are just that bad, and half that team was already in Cancun. And the ones who were there were starting already to plan that vacation at halftime. So obviously some stuff to work on, but yeah, Stink, they figured it out. But to your question, I don't think they're a smart football team in every single moment. No. You can continue whatever the fuck you were going to go on with now.
I don't know. It was just frustrating. Frustrating to watch. But like the payoff was worth it. Somehow, despite all that shit and despite all the negativity and the anger and just the way we all felt at halftime, like, is this really gonna be how the season ends? Like all the things we've overcome. And it has been a ragtag group. The injuries on defense are a real thing. You could be the biggest Bulls hater on the planet, but you have to admit it hasn't been easy, and it wouldn't be easy for any defensive coordinator back there with the amount of different guys he's had, and the depth is not good in the linebacking room, on the defensive line, in the cornerback room, period. We are not a deep football team on defense, and just injury after injury after injury. It's tough, and he's not willing to play aggressive all the time. And I think that's where he probably does deserve criticism. I think he'll admit that at times he's just not aggressive enough, and he's willing to allow things just to avoid potentially giving up the big play. And it's so awful to watch. As growing up a Bucs fan, which has always been a defensive experience, to watch us just like give it up. It's hard to watch. But it really is.
In knowing him, I'm pretty sure it bothers him as much, if not more.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's how he wants to call defense, but I think that he really can't do much more. But I will give them credit in the second half of these games and down the stretch here. They've given up 3 points or 0 points in the second half in every single game. And most of those games have been zeros. Games to the Chargers, games to, I can't remember. The Panthers was a 0 as well. But at the end of the day, they do make the adjustment at halftime. And here it is, man. Listen, some of it is schematic. Some of it is he'll attack a little bit more in the second half than the first half. but most of it is not. It's not like at halftime they go out and they find Darrelle Revis. And yesterday, Josh Hayes looked like an absolute fucking joke out there. I could have played corner better in the first half. Second half, guy looked like Darrelle Revis. All of a sudden, he's playing well. Like, that's not scheme. That's Todd going in there saying, do your fucking job. Do your fucking job. He said it against the Panthers in the game last week. Same thing. If these guys get their heads out of their asses, and there are moments where we weren't tackling well, Stank. That's not on the coach. I'm sorry. There were moments where we were letting guys get through the gap and run, and we were just peeling off them because we're trying to make tackles that look funny or not funny, look fancy, as opposed to just wrapping guys up. And then in the second half, all of a sudden the corners are turning their heads around. All of a sudden the corners are keeping close to the guys they're supposed to keep. It was a totally different thing from an execution standpoint. And so you got to give credit at that point. Hey, he still did it. He's figured it out. Doesn't have an edge rusher. Leading sack guy is Kalijah Cansey up the middle. These sound like excuses, but it's a reality of what we're going through. And Liam, when he doesn't play well, it all looks even worse, right? Where he's not calling a good game, or the offense isn't executing, or they're getting holding penalties called, and just nonsense all day long. So, but yesterday's game, Stank, was the entire season crammed down into 4 quarters. We got to see the injuries bite us in the ass. We got to see the slow start. We got to see us shoot ourselves in the foot. We got to see us overcome. We got to see us have to make mistakes yet again and then find a way to will ourselves. And then we got the little Baker Mayfield sprinkles throughout the whole damn thing. Okay, we got a Baker Mayfield interception. That's not really his fault, but people say, well, he's short. It was the entire season, all in one game, all on the line for the entire season. And we won the fucking NFC South, and we won that game, and it was against the Saints. So at the end of the day, it was a fucking day. It was a fucking day we had.
It was a fucking day, but this is where we get the poison out. We do it on the show. I know everybody expected it just to be, a marching band rolling through here, but no, I have to let it out. You have to let it out. I see Papi Latte in the chat right now.
Speaking of
he
marching
has to
bands,
let it out.
Speaking of marching bands, can we get rid of the fucking drum line?
Wow, you said it. You said it publicly. You sure you want to say this publicly?
I'm done with it. I'm done with the drum line. I am so sick and tired of that bullshit that we have to fucking see every home game. Not a single human being in that fucking stadium gives a goddamn about that stupid fucking drum line. It's not a pirate thing. It wasn't a goddamn high school marching band on pirate ships, all right? There wasn't even a fucking drum on pirate ships. You know why? Because they were
There's definitely drums on pirate ships. What are you talking about?
They were doing the chants, all right? And they were using whatever the fuck they had. They had like those things of rum. They were just banging on those with their fucking hands or the bottom of their swords. They weren't fucking drumming, all right? They were pulling rope. Yanking sails down, all right? Tying shit down, swabbing decks, pause, okay? And while they're doing that, they were sea chanting the whole time. No time for drum lines. What the hell is that shit, dude? It's like every time I'm at there, I'm like, oh, I guess we're back at Riverview High School. Okay, cool. What? Hey, no one cares. Stank, anyone ever look at the drum line? I don't even know where they are in the stadium when they do it. They're on the Jumbotron.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a huge fan of the drum line.
Can't stand it. Absolutely needs to go.
Huge fan. Listen, I'm glad you finally got it off your chest because you've been holding that in for a long time. I don't think you've ever really talked about it on the show. You've tweeted about it, I don't know, 5 million times.
You've taken videos of me. You see how visibly upset I get when they start drumming?
Yeah.
Unnecessary, man. They're worried about that 4 times a goddamn game instead of having the person who wants to have the firing of the cannons go off. Why are we doing that after the second drive of the game? Why wouldn't you do that pregame? Why isn't that happening before opening kickoff? What are we doing, man? Drum line. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here with the drum line.
Christian G with a $1.99 super chat. We need the Walk the Plank song back.
I don't remember. I don't even remember that
I don't
song.
know what the fuck you're talking about.
I don't either.
When the fuck do we have Walk the Plank? Why don't we have a plank on the pirate ship?
Because it probably would offend people. Just like maybe evidently making finger guns is actually illegal. So
that was the dumbest. That was the dumbest
plank
call I've ever seen.
To their death. They're not allowing that, bro. Okay, you gotta remove all the sharp edges from our society, including on the field.
You tell me if you don't put a pool.
Don't you dare allow somebody to make an aggressive hand gesture in a sport that's about absolutely killing people on the field.
They need to put a pool under the pirate ship. All right.
That's a diving board then. That's a diving board.
That's a diving board.
And then
turn it into a diving board.
And this is what happens. One of the opposing fans is randomly selected. Okay. Hey, you won a prize. They don't know what's actually going to happen. They walk him over. Yeah, the pirate ship. We got your prize on the pirate ship. We'd like to do this for visiting fans so they have something to remember us by. Yada, yada. Guy takes the fucking bait, walking up the thing. And all of a sudden, hey, walk down the fucking plank, asshole. Thanks for bringing your Detroit Lions jersey to this fucking Saints-Bucks game. And boom, right into the fucking pool. Day is ruined, by the way. And you know what's going to happen over time? That reputation is going to spread. Hey, you know, if you go to Raymond James Stadium, they fucking make you jump in a goddamn pool, dude. What? Really? Yeah, it's not fun. There's no, you know, bikini-clad women in there like the Jaguars pool that they got going on in that stadium. They're going to actually make you jump into a fucking cold pool of water in your jersey, and then they're going to send you back to your seat, or security's taking you out of the stadium. Eventually, what's going to happen, Stank? You're not going to see all these weird jerseys hanging out in our stadium. It's going to be
that's the answer. JT Olsen a little earlier back onto the Todd Bowles criticism. He says, "We want to talk about scheme. Bucks ranked 6th in sacks and their leading edge rusher has 3 sacks. Todd's manufactured pressure for this team, and he does it every year without fail." Yeah, he has to. Like I said, horses matter, right? What the guys he has to use back there matter. We're not getting pressure from our edge guys. We all know that. It just hasn't worked out, which is why we signed Shaq Barrett back off of the, you know, wherever he's been, off the Dolphins practice squad. So, and I'm happy to see Shaq back, by the way. And maybe we get some Shaq magic here in the playoffs. But yeah, Yaya had a good game yesterday, though. I will say Yaya came to play yesterday. That was good to see.
Yeah, so let's talk about Yaya. I was going to get to him too. Let's talk about the defensive players who actually did play well. Yaya's the guy screamed off the field. Also, what's his name? Kalijah Kancey, Vita Vea also. But listen, Yaya stank from the very first snap. Guy was all over the field, making tackles for losses. In one half, I think he had 3 tackles for loss. He's quarterback pressure, and he had a couple real close. He could have had a 3-sack day if Riddler held on to the ball just a half a hair longer on a couple of those. But then he got the sack. He did his job, man. And it's about time, you know, see him step up and make some noise. You're going to need him to do some of that shit in the playoffs. Not sure if Shaq Barrett did anything other than a couple of run stops, really. Didn't, you know, he might be a little rusty. I think he just said he started working out a couple, maybe a month ago. So not expecting too much from him. Anything he brings to the table is a little bit of an upgrade. Anything is unexpected. It's just great. Add it to the pile. But Yaya, defensive player of the game yesterday for us.
I think so. Hey, by the way, Jared Cox asked if you're in your period this week.
No, I'm not happy with the drum line. I waited the entire season. All right. I went through the full slate of home games, and now I'm going to get it off my chest. That drum line has to go. It just has to go.
Yeah. You know what? What happened in the regular season on this show doesn't matter anymore. Okay. What we said in past shows, you know, it's not all fun and games. Okay. This is the playoffs. Okay, so if you wonder why we had a meeting here for the last 18 hours, me and Sam have been talking relentlessly about what kind of energy we're going to show up with, right? This team doesn't do good when you give them their flowers.
Playoff mode.
Yeah, this is playoff mode. There's no time for fun and games here, okay? This is serious. This show is serious. Very serious. Buckle up, Susan, with your laughing emojis. Buckle up.
Yeah.
You know what it's like to be yelled at, Susan.
Yeah, I'm yelling at all you guys. Just so you know, anyone who comes in contact with me at this game Sunday night, I'm yelling at you. Don't come up to me all happy-go-lucky, hey, sir, and fuck off. I'm yelling at you. All right?
Spoken like a man with a heavy flow, Arthur Fonzarelli says. Yeah. Hey, Arthur Fonzarelli.
I don't know what the next topic is, but we've gone a little bit too long without giving Mike Evans his flowers. Okay.
We started off giving him his flowers.
But which time
we should do an entire show.
We will, but let's talk about that moment, Stank. That moment in the stadium. First of all, they called the play that they got him they got him over 1,000. They called that play on the previous drive.
Yeah, the Bucky touchdown.
Right? It was covered. Baker and Bucky ended up being on the side of the field where there's really no defenders. They made a play. Winning the game matters most in that moment. So Bucky did what he's supposed to do. Baker understood it, and they all collectively had oh shit, we may have fucking messed it up. There's no other way we're going to get it. So it was the right play. But then to get the ball back, and I think the defenders kind of knew, if we could get the stop, we can get Mike a chance here. We got time on the clock. We just got to stop him on 4th down. And then the Bucs did what, like, a lot of people talk shit about the organization. They talk shit about Todd. They talk shit about everything that happens with this team. But they did exactly what you're supposed to do. Even with the game on the line, you fumble that snap, you don't know what could happen. It was an 8-point game. It wasn't a 20-point lead. They called that play in that moment. It was a beautiful, perfectly executed moment. And you know what? Mike Evans deserved that moment for everything he's done for this team and been a team first guy. Team comes before me. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. If we win and I don't catch anything, never complained. When Mike Glennon was throwing the ball, never complained. When Josh McCown was throwing the ball, never complained. When they were losing in absolute dog shit with him and Levante and Gerald and Jameis, he did not complain. And he had every right to complain, Stank. If he would have bitched and said, get me the fuck off this team, would anybody have faulted him, Stank?
No.
He
Absolutely.
never once went AB, never once went Tyreek, never once went Stephon Diggs. He's always been a pro. And for them to honor him the way they did by getting him out on that field, giving him a play, getting him open, risking it, by the way, getting him over that 1,000 and make sure that they shook his hand and say, dude, you're a fucking guy. We appreciate the fuck out of you. Here you go. You deserve this. $3 million coming your way next season. What a fucking moment, Stank. It was perfect.
It was bigger than the game. I said it last week. I put that up, and honestly, seeing how much it meant to him made it that much more special. If he continued to be that guy, like, I don't care about numbers, man. I'm just here to win. Winning is all that matters. For the first time, I think you saw a little of that pride that he doesn't often wear like that because he's not a me guy. He just isn't. And we've had the most me guys ever. We had a guy named Meshawn.
Meshawn Jackson was on this team at one point.
And Meshawn, we had more than one Meshawn. Meshawn Jackson, Meshawn Johnson. We had all the me's. Mm-hmm. But he's the antithesis of that. Yeah, I said it. It took me 2 times to try, but I said the word. He's the opposite of what you get in this league now, which is every receiver being a diva, everybody being bigger than the team. Look at Tyreek right now. What a clown. Look at that stupid motherfucker, bro. You're never, ever, ever going to see that out of 13, ever. And that's why he's so beloved, not just here in Tampa, but around the league. It couldn't have happened to a better guy. And the way it happened made it even that much more special, because when Bucky scored and they showed for about 30 seconds of Mike just sitting by himself on the bench, nobody wanted to be near him. Everybody's like, oh, fuck. You could just see like a fucking, like Goku, the flames just pouring off his fucking body and head.
Little DBZ in there.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
I like that.
I like
yeah,
that.
he was just seething, writhing. And then the defense, you never expected it. Right? I thought the game was over. Saints maybe even go down and score.
I had a feeling, Stank. I had a feeling.
Right? Somehow they do their job. They do their job. Right? And then I had to run back to my seat. Me and my daughter had to run back to her seat like, it's going to happen. It's going to fucking happen. And it was single-handedly maybe the most special moment I've ever witnessed in that stadium. It was beautiful, man. And I really did cry. Sammer, a tear rolled out of his eye, and then somehow he sucked it right back up. But I saw it. I
don't think that happened.
I saw a tear.
Fake news. Fake news. Did not happen. Fake news. All right, listen. I will say
Hold
this.
on, real quick. Let me just do this before we forget. Everybody out there that's watching, like and subscribe. If you want your comments read live on air, super chats, they go a long way. We've already had some, but like and subscribe. You may continue.
Okay, I was gonna say, good job, Izzy. That's right. Hey, you know what? Round of applause for Izzy. He doesn't get a $3 million bonus, no incentive based on this, but he did his job today. He actually did the like and subscribe in the middle of the show, so I will give him credit there. A little late, but you know what? Better late than never. Stank, the thing about Mike. Okay, on the field, everyone knows what he is, but here's the thing: off the field, tons of stories that we've heard. From 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, nobodies. Guys that get picked, and you don't expect them to get recognized. Don't expect them to be spoken to by guys like Mike and Baker and, you know, the stars on a team. Countless stories from these dudes that you would consider nobodies on rosters, where Mike has gone out of his way to make them feel as if they're part of the team once they've arrived. Take them to a baseball game. Hey, I'm in town. And you're still not out here because rookie mini camp hasn't started or training camp. Hey, I'm around. Let's have dinner. The stuff that Mike does behind the scenes with his teammates doesn't get told a lot. You don't hear all the stories. We hear it with some of the people that we hang out with and talk to. Guy is a fucking great human being. Like, just beyond football. If he wasn't even a football player, this guy would be a winner at life. Honestly, the stuff he's been through. And to be the kind of dude that he is, that's why he's the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the Bucs. And hopefully, I believe he was in 2nd place last time I checked. in terms of the NFL votes. So there's a reason for that. That dude is a fucking guy, man. As a human being, he deserves not only that, but this 1,000-yard season. To have missed, 4 games, Stank? 4.5 games?
Yeah.
Can't remember exactly. And still have it. And everyone's like, oh, he did it in 17 games. And he didn't actually. He didn't actually do it in 17 games. He did it in 12.
14.
He did it in 12 games. Okay?
What? Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, Stank. 17 minus. You serious right now?
4. 17 minus 4 is 13. I think we're both wrong.
Well,
I think it's actually 13 games.
Well, you take the bye week out. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you play 17 games and he missed 4.
He
So
missed
4
4 weeks.
minus 17 equals 13.
Let's say 13.
Hold on.
Which is the magic number here?
13. He did in 13
Izzy, pull out
games.
your calculator and do your math.
Yeah, Izzy, do some shit, dude.
Hold on.
Kyle
Hold
Brandt came out after the game, said greatest Buck of all time. Everybody's allowed to have their favorites, right? 99 will always be my favorite because I feel like him and
He's your
Mike
Hardy.
got
favorite,
eight.
but is he greatest?
Mike got it in 14 games.
14. Okay, so
Actually,
I was
missed
right.
3. Okay, so Stank, hold on. He's your favorite Buck, but do you consider Warren Sapp the best Buck?
mm,
There's 2 different things.
yeah, I do. But I understand because Mike is in the argument. Mike is the best human Buck. Maybe outside of Derek Brooks, you could argue that him and Derek are both angels. And that's one of those conversations. Everybody's going to have their favorite. Some people say old heads say Leroy, and you're not wrong in any of those with any of those statements. But Mike did it when it was just he was the only thing to feel good about on this team
Yeah, that's true.
for so many years. It was just Mike, and he had V-Jax there to kind of show him the ropes a little bit, and V-Jax was a great guy too. We've been lucky with that, but Mike was that only reason to even feel good about the team for so long, and to see him start where he started, Jason Light's first draft pick, and where we are now. This is one of the golden ages of being a Bucs fan. It's painful, but
we've only had 2.
Yeah, we only had 2. Yeah, this
Here's
is
the
one
thing.
of the 2 gold. You could say 3.
Maybe 2.5. I would compare him to Derek Brooks because they have similar careers. Derek Brooks, one of the best linebackers during his time. But who got all the glory? Ray Lewis and guys like that. The other guys. And so he was kind of under the radar, underappreciated, but he did get Pro Bowls because people did see his stat lines and holy shit. So him and Levante, very similar in that regard too. But him and Derek in terms of the human side, and then the unappreciated side, and just being professionals, all of that. And I guess Levante's right in there too with that. But Mike Evans, I think, just because on the offensive side. So he's the offensive version, in my opinion, of Derek Brooks. Best player on the best, unit at its time there, at that peak. But the difference, like you said, Stank, is that Mike, for a good part of that, was the only thing good on the team. Yeah. The only thing good on that side of the ball.
The only consistent thing. And it's hard to ignore Levante because Levante's such a good dude too.
He was on some shitty defenses too.
He was, yeah. So they're both equally.
But Mike Evans is the offensive.
place.
Mike Evans is the offensive version of Derek Brooks in the history books of this team for sure. Who's the best Buck at the end of it all? That's tough, man.
It's a personal thing.
It's between those two, and I love both.
It's like your children. It's like your children. Although I know you like one of your children better than the other.
Any parent who tells you they don't have favorites is a parent that you cannot trust because they are lying to your face.
Sammer told me yesterday 9 out of 10 babies are ugly.
And it's right.
What?
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10 babies are ugly.
Yeah.
Go out there.
Statistically, everybody in this chat room right now, only I don't know how many people are watching. 172 watching. It's quick math. Only 4 or 5 of you were good looking babies. The rest of you ugly as fuck. And I know I've met a lot of you in person.
Math ain't
like Cali Bucks.
The math ain't mathing, bro.
One of the ugliest babies ever, I'm assuming. So
listen. At the end of the show, okay, I'm going to give you guys a challenge or a little homework for the people out there watching. After you guys are done watching this, tomorrow you're going to go out and about, do your day. For the rest of the week, I want you to pay attention to the babies. I want you to take a tally, okay? And I guarantee you, 1 out of those 10 babies, one of every 10 babies you see will be a cute baby. The others will be ugly babies. I guarantee you, because I have done the math. I have done the work. I have done the research. I've racked up the numbers. We have the statistics to prove it all, okay?
Wait, say that one more time?
Statistics.
No, you said statistics.
No, my microphone.
Statistics?
No.
He says statistics.
No.
Statistics.
The numbers are good. They're correct.
I expect that. I know your ancestors used to kick babies off the cliff and make them survive in the wild for 3 years, like in 300, and they would have to kill.
Jersey Loof says 10 out of 10 babies are ugly. See, I was with you. I used to say 10 out of 10 babies are ugly too, but then I met a cute baby.
I think it's Jersey Tooth, by
Whatever
the way.
it is.
Everybody in New Jersey is ugly.
Wait, hold up. Bryce says 1 out of 10 of 170 is 17. Easy math, my ass.
Stinks at 4. So that's terrible. Yeah, but listen, 1 out of 10 babies is cute. I'll give it that. But 9 out of 10, ugly as fuck. And if you ever show your baby to any human being and they go, bless his soul,
Bless his heart.
Oh, bless his heart means yeah.
Yeah, no, if you ever get that, that's it, dude.
You got
That's
one of
not a
those 9.
compliment.
You got one of those 9. Just so you know.
Yeah. Or if it's just like a gasp or an
Oh,
that's ugly as fuck. That baby
you got one of the
ugly.
9. And listen, here's the thing. When they're first born as parents, you all think they're all cute. I get it, okay? But here's the challenge. Go back a year later and look at your baby photos that you used to send to everybody who didn't want to see your fucking baby, okay? You're going to look at that photo and you're like, God damn it, I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was fucking wrong. I had a 9 out of 10, and I didn't even fucking know it.
You guys are wondering why we're talking about this. Mike Evans, beautiful baby.
Beautiful baby.
He's one of the beautiful children.
1 out of
He's
10.
he's a beautiful man. On top of that, and a beautiful human and a beautiful person, and just one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Buccaneer of all time. What
Might
a good fit for this organization. And you think the Glazers are cheap? They could have called down. They could call down like what? $3 million for that catch?
$3 million what? What?
Take a
For
knee.
5
Take
yards.
a knee. They could have been in Bowles' ear the whole time. Take a fucking knee.
No, they could have pulled the fire alarm. They're like, "Brrr."
They could have. The cannons could have started
yeah,
going off.
just everything. All of a sudden, like, you see Hines Ward running a punt return, exploding fucking field behind him. You got Bane laughing from a helicopter. It would have been a whole deal, man. They could have done a number of things to stop that $3 million from going through. But listen, in the comments after this show's over, I want you guys leave us your best Buccaneer of all time. Not your favorite Buccaneer of all time, but who you think is the best Buccaneer of all time. Because it's going to be interesting. You're going to see some Leroy Selmans in there, Stank.
Leroy Selman was in there. 55 was there.
We're going to see some dumb people are going to put Tom Brady in there, even though Tom Brady should not be in there. No offense to Tom Brady. Love what he did. But, hey, he wasn't here long enough.
But it's a personal thing. You're not wrong. You know what? Now that I really think about it, here's my list. Warren Sapp, Kyle Trask, Mike Evans. So,
whoa.
you know,
You know what? I'm gonna leave you alone.
It's tough. It's tough, but my boy KT still got him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's close, man. It's close. All right, Stank. We'll end this show with one more topic here.
Wait, the show's almost over?
No, yeah.
I've
been here for a little bit, man.
I feel like we just started.
Yeah, I've been here for a little bit. So since the regular season is over, it'd be an interesting topic for us to discuss our closing thoughts on the regular season and what we should hope to see playoff adjustment-wise moving forward. Not necessarily a specifically for the Washington game, Stank, because we'll talk about that on Thursday, but kind of what you would like to see us adjust from what we did in the regular season going into the playoffs. Maybe scheme, maybe guys being used, maybe Vita Vea playing, maybe the whole fucking game for once in his life. That'd be great. Or not, maybe not using Greg Gaines like he's a starter. So give me your closing thoughts on the regular season, man, because we haven't done a collective thought process like this ever. Especially with you. You don't function very well when you got to think hard.
I was reading the comments, so I think you asked me what my closing thoughts were on the season, and how we can what we need to bring into the playoffs here.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to one of those old statements you and Latte love to say. It's Bucs beating Bucs. I think Bowles loves saying that too, right? If you look at the first half, we didn't tackle well, dropped some passes. Energy was, extremely low dick energy. They got to come out from the get-go with that fight. Somebody needs to punch Baker in the mouth before the game. He needs to go punch somebody at the coin toss. Something needs to happen. We need to rile this team up because we need bad Baker out there. We need that dude that's just ready to go out there and take somebody's head off and start the game that way. No stupid fucking penalties, no turnovers. I don't think we're easy to beat when we play like that. This offense can put up numbers. And if the defense can do enough and they get a little bit of momentum, you got guys out there that are playing above their heads or playing to their skill level and not thinking and just reacting and putting pressure on the opposing team. That's when it's special. So man, I'm excited. People are like, oh, it's a fucking primetime game. I'm lactating. Yeah, all fucking playoff games are primetime game, motherfucker. Just because it's at night doesn't mean you need to get all sensitive, okay? I'm glad it's at night. I'm glad the world's watching. Pressure is good. This team needs it. They play better under pressure. We almost went to KC and won that game. The whole world was watching. So I don't think that we played that bad when they put the pressure on themselves and they're not feeling themselves. They shouldn't be feeling themselves after that game. That was a pathetic performance. We won, but it wasn't great. And I think that they know at this point it's win or go home, and they got to come out swinging, man. So that's what I hope for. That's what I look for. Season's on the line.
Here's the thing, Stink. Baker hasn't really played poorly in any of these primetime games. Maybe the Ravens game after the Mike Evans injury a little bit.
That game wasn't pretty.
But other than that, he's kind of been able to elevate himself to the moment. The majority of the team is elevated. They've had these little hiccups at times. They didn't look very good against the Cowboys, but again, that was all a lot of self-inflicted bullshit. But yeah, man, listen, the regular season was weird. This is the weirdest regular season I've ever watched, but also one of the funnest, if not the funnest team I've ever watched as a Bucs fan. Yeah, I'm talking about John Gruden days, Tom Brady, all of it. Better teams probably existed in those spans, but this is the most fun I've had as a Bucs fan. And it's crazy that they were able to overcome all the shit that they've overcome. The Chris Godwin injury, the weird little, rotation at running back that they had to figure out in the beginning, not being able to run the ball at the beginning, Liam Cohen trying to figure out how to call plays, the Denver Broncos game happening so early in the season after having such great games against the Eagles and the Lions, and all those things that kind of, culminated, then having the bye week, then coming out, all the secondary injuries, unbelievable. If there was a way to get injured on or off the field, this secondary has figured it out. Okay, we got Jordan Whitehead getting in a car accident. Hope that guy recovers and he's fully ready to go at some point. I don't know how, what that means, but not saying this week. I'm just saying overall in general as a human thing. So all of that stuff, for them to come out and to win 10 games in what everyone says, the NFC South, you could probably win 8 and get in the playoffs. They won 10 games. They make the playoffs in a couple other divisions with 10 wins. So for them to do that, to overcome what they had to overcome and still win 10 games with all the shit that we said. How many times did we say fire Todd Bowles throughout the fucking ether of social media this season?
I saw it 5,000 times before halftime yesterday.
Everywhere. And we still won 10 games. We won 10 games. Okay. And I don't care if it's Liam and Todd or Todd and Liam. There's still players that have to go out there and make plays. They got to make tackles. They got to be in the right spot. They got to catch the ball. They got to throw the ball, all that stuff. So the season was ridiculous, okay? We got to 10 wins. We're over. Here we are. What I want to see adjusted, pretty simple, man. Just play aggressive and like it's your last fucking game. For the fact that they didn't beat the living shit out of the Saints like they did the Panthers and coast through, gives me really good feeling that they're going to be more dialed in for the next game because they're not going to be feeling themselves 2 really easy wins in a row. It's very easy for a young team. People don't realize. I think they're the second youngest team in the NFL. These guys are not vets, so they do have to learn some lessons along the way. And into the playoffs, be aggressive. And you know what? Just tackle the fucking ball carrier. And I guarantee you, a lot of our deficiencies and our problems on defense are completely covered up because we're making the fucking tackle. And that includes the middle of the field. Hopefully, Antoine Winfield Jr. will be ready for the playoffs. I believe they rested him an extra week just to make sure. So that's my adjustment, man. Just play aggressive, play like you fucking mean it, and I think things will fall into place. I'm telling you, when you have an offense that is as good as the Bucs are without Chris Godwin even, teams don't want to face that because this is not 1995 NFL football. Offenses get you to the Super Bowl. We see it every single year. Patrick Mahomes has won 2 rings with terrible defenses. Patrick Mahomes, I get it. But hey, Baker Mayfield is on a fucking roll right now, Stank, and I will bet on that man. The way he's playing, the way these guys run behind him, and the way these guys fight for him, now anything can happen. If Green Bay Packers won it, that 8-8 season, or whatever the fuck it was, back in their way into the playoffs, Eli Manning won twice, anything can happen, man. You never know.
Yeah, Saigon Say Jay in the chat says, Commanders fan here. Let's have a good game Sunday. Hey, fuck you, buddy. All right? Fuck your team. Okay? Don't come in here with all that positivity. We know what that means.
Who's that guy?
Right?
What's he talking about?
Sanganse J.
Oh yeah,
Isn't he a cricket
there he
fan?
is.
Coming here with all the positivity.
Isn't that guy
He's a
cricket
Commanders fan. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought you said
look,
he's a
look at
cricket
Dr.
fan.
Pless greeting him. It should be a good game, Sanjasa. Hey, Pless.
Plus, don't do that.
Plus,
Come on,
try not
dude.
to have his PhD taken away. I think that's what it is. But you know what? Fuck you, man. Fuck you, Saigon. I say yeah.
Yeah.
Like, go watch
He's
cricket,
laughing
dude.
about it.
Go watch cricket.
Your
Go watch
city's not
cricket.
even a real city.
Yeah,
You can
guys-
see one end from the other end.
Not only
Yeah.
that, dude. They've had 3 team names. I mean,
Yeah, you can't even name your team, dude. You
What are
think
you
you're gonna
doing
win
here,
this football
man?
game?
that's what you
I
do in
mean,
the
Knicks fans
XFL. The
talking crazy
XFL
already. I love
changes
it.
team names every season. I mean, come on, guys. And Don Devine.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Anyway,
Don Devin. He was in my live space yesterday.
Tom Michigan says F the commies. I'm 100% down with that. Who likes commies? Stank, you like
We
commies?
don't like commies here.
No, I hate commies. I'm a red-blooded American. You're right.
America.
Girly gamers
You get
right.
that you get that commie shit out of here, buddy.
Come on down to Raymond James, Sanjay, or whatever the fuck your name was, and you're going to be the first one to walk the plank that I just
Hell
created
yeah.
on the show
Yeah.
tonight. That the
How
Bucks
do you
have
feel about
already
planks, Sanjay?
adopted. Yeah. How you feel about walking the plank?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Tune in
Unbelievable.
Thursday, buddy.
Check it
We'll
out.
be
Yeah.
talking about the game and your
Thursday
team.
night, we're going to preview the game. But don't forget, it's the second Friday of the month coming up. So
Oh
that means
shit! Here we go.
the phone lines are open Friday
Here we
night.
go.
Okay. It is the return of the Bucks fan roast call-in show. That means you guys get to call in and run the show. You get 90 seconds to give us your worst or best Bucks take, or to roast any one of us or all 3 of us, including
Yeah.
the intern who lives in a closet. There he is. Okay. And then you get to stay on the line, and we get to absolutely demolish you afterwards. So it could be a serious show. You could ask us about the playoff game. Who knows? It could be a good show, or it could be an absolutely terrible show. It just be everybody making fun of each other, laughing at Izzy, making fun of his lazy eye, which we didn't do enough of tonight, to be honest.
I love Izzy's eyes.
Izzy,
Thank you. Thank you.
You have beautiful eyes, man.
I just need to get. I'm trying to get this one fixed. Still, it doesn't want to do a
I don't
job.
think you should. It makes you stand out. And as soon as you fix it, you're just going to become some normal nobody.
I told you, you need to wear the eye patch. You coming to the playoff game, Izzy? You need to wear the eye patch to the playoff game.
I will see what I can do about a playoff game. But right now, work is just picking up. But look, Mike Evans, future Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer. There's nothing else to say about him. Congrats on 11 seasons straight, 1,000 yards receiving. Ride the momentum all the way to the playoffs, man. Anybody's game. You know, we're playing with house money at this point. No one's really expecting us to go all the way. They got Detroit as like the favorites. We done beat Detroit. We done beat Washington. Any team that wants to smoke can get it.
And hey, Stank, you touched a little bit on that primetime nonsense. And I'm going to say this because I put out a tweet last night or this morning, and I was pretty fucking annoyed about the whole thing. So many Bucks fans crying, putting up L. Oh, I guess we're going to lose. Once the schedule dropped that we were playing Sunday Night Football, half of my timeline was bitching. Oh, here we go. We're sucking at prime. Every fucking game is its own game.
Yeah.
Okay? To think that the sun not being up affects the game, affects how the guys play. Oh, the moon is out. That means the Bucks are going to lose. Here we fucking go. Shut the fuck up. How about
We've
fucking
had these superstitions for forever, right? We can't win when it's below 42
prime
degrees.
time? We don't win in prime. It's bullshit. It's
By the way,
Bro, the
bullshit.
last time we
told-
played
I heard-
primetime postseason was last year.
We won the game. It doesn't
32 to
matter.
9.
Hey, what nobody's talking about is I heard it might snow here in Tampa.
Great.
Sunday night.
What?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
it might
I
snow.
want it. I
Yep.
want it. I'm just saying, man. The prime
We
time.
might get a snow game. It might look like Lambeau Field here Sunday
Prime
night.
time
Hey, you
little
know-
dick
hold on,
energy
wait,
is
wait.
bullshit. I don't want to hear it. It's nonsense. How about you be a fucking fan, okay, and you show up to the game or you show up to the bar, or you turn it on your TV, however the fuck you watch that game, you sit down and you watch it as a fanatic, okay? The definition, the fan is short for fanatic, and the definition of that is that you are over exuberant.
Yeah.
You are overly eager to watch and be a fan of a team and to root for a team. You have optimism that is beyond the optimism you should have because you are a fanatic, okay? So watch the game expecting us to beat the living shit out of the opponent. And if we lose, we fucking lose. But don't
I
go in
agree.
there with the, we're going to lose down, but down the fucking prime time. Chris Sims is in the house. Oh, God. Shut the fuck
Hey,
up and watch the
I agree.
fucking game.
I agree.
That's
There
it.
should be no excuses. You know, I mean, You got fans that do what it takes, okay, to even watch the game. All right. You got a guy like Cali Bucks who has to go to the Walmart TV section just to watch the game. He doesn't miss a game, by the way. He's there every week, staring at. He looks like he's browsing. Right. He has to switch around and look at this TV and be like, hey, man, does this one have a remote so he can switch to the game? But it doesn't matter. Nothing stops him. So what are you complaining about?
Hey, Stank, there's a super chat for you. Lore of Luke is $2. Keep that same energy with the creamsicles, Stank.
I'm Mr. Creamsicle. Look at my body, bro. I'm literally a giant creamsicle. It's Sammer who hates those jerseys.
I hate the creamsicles, but I don't go into the game thinking we're going to lose because of the creamsicles. Yeah. I'm not the guy who thinks that the sun being down is more important than injuries or luck or bad execution or bad tackling or bad play calling or, you know what, just bad fucking bounces or Mike Evans being injured or this happening and that. Like, all those things that actually matter, you guys all just sweep those aside. Oh, the sun is out? Oh, God, we're going to lose. The sun is down. What are we going to do? The lights are on? Oh, God. What? Oh, my God. Phil's saying, get the fuck off your shit, dude. Shut the fuck up.
What is
Shut
that?
up.
What,
I love it.
Face,
Enough,
bro?
dude. I'm so sick of it. It's such bullshit behavior by fans. Like when you go to the Bills fan base, you go to Steelers fan base, you go to any of these fans, they don't give a fuck what time it is. They play on fucking ice. They don't give a fuck. They're there for the game and they're going to root that team on to win. They don't care what time it is. Bucs fans, half of them. No, playing prime time. Fuck out of here. At least we'll fire Todd. At least we'll get to fire Todd. Get out of here, dude.
Oh, I've seen that so much. Hey, look, Jared Cox said something that I predicted before the season started. I'm looking at least NFC Championship. This team has the makeup. They have the ability to do just that. They have the talent. They have the weapons. And hold on, we got another super chat here. Bucks Capital $2. Kind of ironic because Stank thinks every game is a trap.
Because they are. You saw that game yesterday. It was a trap.
Can't be a trap. A trap only occurs if there's a game after that game. That's why it's called the trap game.
This team fell right into Darren Rizzi's trap, and we almost lost it. Had it not been for Baker punching a lineman in the face, we lose that game. And somehow Atlanta comes back and they win the game, and we're all sitting here crying. We're talking about, where we're going, shopping this Sunday. I don't know. Okay, so
it wasn't a trap game.
I came here with the proper energy.
It was not a trap.
It wasn't a trap game because there wasn't a game after it. It was literally the last game of the season. If the last game of the season traps you, you're a fucking moron. And you don't deserve to play in the NFL.
Bro, you should have seen the tweets.
The Falcons.
During the first half, people mad at me at the first half of the game. You did this, Stank, with your joking around. You said, it's funny.
Oh my God, the dumbest shit, dude. I changed my fucking pants and now we're down 13 points at halftime. Get out of here.
People really knew what I did to sacrifice for this team. I paid a lot of money for my tickets. Okay. But
I don't let you sit in them when things aren't going our way because when you leave, good things happen. And that's just how it is. Anyway, make sure you guys hit the like button. If you are new, hit the subscribe button. Shut the fuck up.
We got one more super chat.
We got one more super chat real fast. Tope Daddy, $2. We won 2 Super Bowls at night. F the creamsicles.
I like it.
That's why you're in Detroit. That's why you're still in Detroit.
I like it. And hey, listen, I'm going to be in the locker room before the game, and I'm going to do something to incite a fight in the locker room. Baker's going to be in the middle of it. The team's going to be riled up, ready to go once the game starts because I'm going to start a fight in the locker room. And don't worry about slow starts, boys.
All you got to do is say, hey, Lattimore told me to give you a message. You come up to Mike as he's walking.
No, I'm going to go up to Baker. I'm going to go up to Baker and tell him Lattimore thinks that little pass you did to get him that 1,000 yards, thinks that's some Mickey Mouse shit.
I like it.
And then, it's over from there. Baker's going to bash his skull into a locker, okay, with no helmet on. He's going to come out bloodied, okay? We're talking like fucking 1975 NFL ball, okay? Bloodied face, right at half line, all right? During the coin toss, I'm like, why is he bleeding out of his face? Game on, dude. I feel bad for the Washington Commanders.
Will the Brewer says, Stank, we were down for the game last week and saw a shoeless old woman in the parking lot with a sign and a 3-inch long toenail. No, that's my wife. That's my wife, actually.
Damn, wait, I just not realized we got Marshawn Lattimore versus Mike Evans in the playoffs.
Bro, where you been? You're just not reading?
No. I just like it.
We'll talk about that.
It just fucking dawned on me like, holy shit, here we go. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun on this Sunday.
No, it's nonsense. Hey, make sure you guys hit that like button. Because a lot of you guys watching, hit the fucking like button on the way out. Leave us a comment on who you think the best Buccaneer of all time is. Not your favorite, the best Buccaneer of all time. And if you're new, hit the subscribe button. Izzy, you and the duck hanging out. I don't know if I'm going to bring him back next episode. A lot of people don't like the fact that you keep talking over his quacking. So just don't speak from here on out. And go Bucs.
The chat is killing you, Izzy.
It's kickoff, set it off. Go to Vegas, bet it all. Put it on the Bucs win. Whoever they gon' play gon' fall. Don't